What is going on, everyone? Chris with Journals, Comics, and Pop Culture. Guys, for those tuning in, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please take a second to do so. With that being aside, guys, let's get into this video. We're going to have a little bit of fun. I'm going to poke a little bit of fun, but I'm also going to talk about something obviously serious. So this is kind of like when trying to be cool on social media goes wrong type of a situation. And look, you guys know me. Sometimes it may feel like I'm putting people on blast, but ultimately it's about educating. All right. And it's about being decent human beings as well. Right. So check this out, guys. We have a comic book group here on Facebook. For the most part, I love being a part of comic book groups on Facebook, although sometimes it brings out the ugliness in people, and that's sad. So somebody posted today talking about the Venom number 525 Walmart variant is the new grill for them. That's awesome. That's awesome. Obviously, this book is hot. I haven't shopped at Walmart since the pandemic, actually, guys. And if I was there and I saw the Venom packet, I'd probably buy it. Why not, right? Nothing wrong with that. I was looking at the comments and people were just discussing like collectors do what this means. Somebody was talking about like how many, like right here, if there's two per store. I don't think they're limited to two per store. Then it's a 3 to 5 thousand print run. But one thing that they did say was that there's not all Walmart stores carry the comic book exclusive 3 packs. So the bottom line is, these print runs are going to be, substantially lower than your probably standard print run of a issue of a publisher's issue, right? That hits the direct market. So, but they're talking about, oh, there's 4,756 Walmarts in the U.S. if everyone gets 10 copies and all that. Now, again, this is just these guys doing their own calculating. I come down though and I commented saying, okay, look, what you guys need to understand: rarity doesn't equal scarcity. Okay, that's the biggest thing that I was trying to let everyone understand. I wasn't arguing against people wanting to get the Venom book from Walmart. I wasn't arguing in favor for it. I was just making a point. And what do we get? We get people hitting that laugh emoji, and then we get somebody saying here, in respect to Johnny here, who hasn't replied back and hasn't been negative. He said that's actually exactly what it means. So maybe this individual here was just confused and wasn't properly informed, and that's okay. Excuse me. It's okay to be incorrect. I don't know if they were trying to be cynical. Sometimes you can't read words on a screen, but I proceeded to tell him that he was incorrect, and I'll just read it to you guys about what I wrote here. I said, no, it doesn't. Rarity is a low print run. Scarcity is when there is limited supply because demand is greater than supply. Something can be rare with no demand, which means it isn't scarce. A comic can have a high print run and still be scarce because demand outweighs supply. I would read a book or two on economics before trying to mock my statement. Now, keep in mind, guys, maybe Johnny here wasn't trying to mock my statement, but I also had somebody laughing at my comment. So I admit I was getting a little defensive, but I was saying, look, guys, before you come down here, please educate yourself. And then the individual that laughed at my statement has seemed to block me, which is hilarious. Just because I proved them wrong here, I addressed them. Scarcity is when supply is insufficient to the demand. A book can have a rare amount of copies printed and have zero demand, meaning it is not scarce. Before you hit the little laugh emoji, why don't you do some research, since you are just making yourself look like an ass? And then he replied, which he blocked me, obviously. He replied saying, imagine replying to a laugh emoji, LOL. And I replied back by saying, imagine feeling so stupid that this was your comeback. And then he blocked me. Look, guys, here's where I'm at. Here's where I'm at in this. If you guys want to, if people want to play the game, if you want to play the game where you sit behind a computer screen and mock people, you won't win with me. You will not win with me. Grow up, because I will play that game and I will checkmate you. I just and this is why, trolls will be trolls. I'll dish it, but you can't take it, right? I'll throw it right back in your face. But let me not get on a high horse here, and let me just go back to exactly what the point I'm trying to make here, guys, is one, you have to be knowledgeable of what you're talking about before you speak on it. And if you do make a mistake, because we're all human, if you do make a mistake and you state something that's wrong, like this, just admit it. Just admit, like, oh man, you know what? I was wrong. I apologize. I didn't mean no harm. Now I know. Whatever. I was confused. Whatever it may be. Admit the mistakes, because guys, this is something that is, I think, very important too here when it comes to the hobby and comic collecting and where we're at right now, because of a lot of the FOMO and fear of missing out, and people want to get their hands on things. Don't go after a book just because it has a low print run, and you think that for some reason there's going to be some increased monetary value because of that. And I've said this before, a book can have a print run of 200. And if nobody wants one, those 200 books aren't going to be able to sell for 5 cents each because nobody's buying them. Rarity doesn't equate to scarcity. It doesn't. Okay? You can have a book that's mass produced. You can have a book like X-Men #1 that's that printed millions of copies. I'm just using that as an example because there was 8 million copies sold, right? So you can make a book that has millions of copies produced, and if 10 million people want that book is going to be scarce on the market because the demand is higher than the supply. The demand outweighs the supply, right? Let me repeat that. As long as the demand outweighs the supply, you're going to have scarcity. And it's that simple. And it doesn't matter how many items of the product, in this case, comic books, are printed. Okay? It's a ratio thing. It just boils down to a ratio thing. So, and one last thing, guys, and this transpired while I was making this video. But this is what I'm telling you guys. Don't be asses. Don't be so ignorant with your egos out. This guy Jeremy replies saying, "It's literally the same thing. Wow." And I responded saying, "Did you read my comics? How about comments? How about looking at the dictionary definition?" He says, "I did. Both mean the same thing. Good luck arguing with yourself." So let me share this with you. And again, guys, I'm sharing this with you just to try to break it down more, to maybe I wasn't clear enough, and those watching, just to give one more example. I responded saying, they do not mean the same thing. And the fact that you read my comments and still believe that they mean the same thing is a bit worrisome, but let me try this one more time. Rare equals not many of something existing. Scarce, demand outweighing the supply of something, no matter the amount in existence. For example, a comic that has a 500 print run but nobody wants equals rare. A comic that has 200,000 print run but 500,000 people want equals scarce. They are not the same thing. Now, something can be rare and scarce at the same time, but again, they are not the same thing. So, guys, I just had to add this final piece. Something can be rare and scarce at the same time, but they are not the same thing. I hope that adds a little more context and clears the air once and for all for any misinterpretation of the situation. I kind of wanted to just bring that to everyone's attention, understand what rarity means, all right, and then kind of be able to educate yourself on the decisions that you make if you're speculating on books just because of rarity, and understand the difference between rarity and scarcity. And then outside of that, just don't be an ass. Don't be an ass on social media. That's the second lesson for today. I'm so tired of it. Most of us are grown. Although I know I have viewers that are kids. I have teenagers and children that watch my channel that are more grown and mature and respectful than a lot of adults out there, and it's a sad state of affairs. But don't be like Pat. Johnny, maybe it was just a situation where he needed to educate himself, and that's perfectly fine. Don't be an ass. Remain humble, guys. And look, if you're in these comic book groups, be kind to each other, man. You got a lot of young collectors, probably, and new collectors in these groups that, there's so much belittling going on and mocking going on because of somebody not knowing something or somebody asking a question that, it's like we got to be here to support each other in this hobby and educate each other, and that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. This hobby has to be a positive one, and we got to treat each other with respect. So, hope you guys maybe learned a little something today. Put a few things in perspective. And again, thank you guys for watching. Again, subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. And until next time.